G'day, greedy 3Ders. Well, today I've got my Batman t-shirt on, which can mean only one thing. No, I'm not doing Batman. I'm doing the Henry Cavill Superman. This is one of the free busts that I got when I joined the SANIX Patreon, and I'll show you today how I painted this bad boy up. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. As usual, we're starting off with the colour triad from the Army Painter Air Paint set, and I'm going to start with the Nomad Flesh, as usual the darker colour, working my way down from the top to keep those darkened shadowed areas and just concentrating on the highlighted areas. Take your time with this, don't put too much on, and make sure you keep the shadowed areas shadowed, as that's the whole point in doing it from the top and doing it in this fashion. It really will add to your final effect if you do that. I'm using Army Painter paints. I'm using the mega set that I bought, and it's got quite a few colours in. Absolutely awesome set. Back now to Barbarian Flesh, and exactly the same process, but we're going to just highlight some of the outer areas, the top of the head, the chin, the cheeks. Again, your process here is not to recover the whole thing, but just to add layers and depth to it. And once you've done that, the highest coat, the wildling, the lighter coat, just do the same effect on that. Again, nose, chin, forehead, top of the shoulders, the clavicles there. Once you've done that, take a little bit of purple, the alien purple, water it down well, and just give it a lick across the top, and not too much, just make it look like there's some veins under the surface. Okay, when we've done that, over to the wet palette. Again, I'm using an Army Painter wet palette, and I'm going to move straight to the eyes. I always put some black in the eyes, and this allows me to shape them. Just go outside of the shape of the eye, and that then, when you paint the white in, will give you some natural eye lines. I always do my eyes this way now, and if you want to have a go at this, please try it. Just take your time and be careful with this. You don't want to ruin your flesh. While that's drying, I'm just using a little bit of red mixed with a little bit of brown, and I'm going to just do the outlines of his lips. I'm going to do a couple of colours on here, making it lighter as I get to the bottom lip, and just add a little bit of white, and also I'm going to varnish them at the end. Now the eyes have had a good chance to dry, take a little bit of white mince with a hint of blue, and just keep inside the black and put the whites of the eyes in, and you'll see once you've done this what a great effect. It looks like eyeliner, or guy liner in this case, but we'll be touching that up and reducing the bottom layer of that. If it was a woman you could keep it, but in a man it just looks a little bit too OTT, so the bottom layer is going to be more red. Now I've put the pupils in, and I've done that off camera, and all I've done is just put some used some black and put the pupils in, and I'm going to get a real scraggy brush, and I'm just going to do the hair. I don't want him to look like he's got a Lego wig on, so I'm just going to use that scraggy brush just to give me a little an uneven edge, and I'm going to carefully go around all the hair using just some Army Painter matte black to do this. Once the hair's had a chance to dry, get some Griffin blue, and I'm going to put a little bit of a dollop on the brush, and I'm going to blob it in to his eye for his iris. Now we're going to lighten up the colour a little bit using a different blue, the Volt Shield blue, and we're just going to add a little bit of a context and change of colour in his eye, just to make it look more realistic. Once that's done, load your brush with a little dollop of black and pop into the pupils with another dollop of white either side, and that will look like a reflection, and the eyes will call pretty much done. Moving on to his uniform, and I'm going to use some gold, just some Army Painter greedy gold there for the centre part of his uniform. You can splatter over the edges a little bit while you're doing the gold, because we're going to go back over the red, and that's where we're going next. Just using some plain old red paint, some Army Painter plain red, and I'm going to go over his cape and use a smaller brush to get into the finer details and do the edges, and a thicker brush to take some of the hard work out of it. I've done the S, the symbol for hope. It doesn't say S for Superman, it's S for hope, of course, we all know that. And just do around the edges, make it look nice and tidy, ready for your blue, which is going to be some Griffin blue. Now this part I found so relaxing, so I'm just going to shut up here, and you can just watch me paint this bit and relax. Oh, aren't I good to you? Wasn't that relaxing? That was lovely, wasn't it? Now the blue is done. I've given it a couple of coats when it's dried, not just the one coat. And once that's done, we're going to be going across to a little bit of flesh wash. Now I'm going to add a little bit of texture into the uniform, so I'm going to put some flesh wash on, then I'm going to get a kitchen roll and dab it off, put it on, dab it off, put it on, dab it off, all in the depth areas, the part of his muscles and just where his uniform changes, just to add a little bit of effect. Now I've got that low colour on. I'm going to move and I'm going to put a little bit of highlight on using some of the Elvin Armour metallic paint, and this really does bring his uniform to life, just on the highlighted areas, not all over, and you'll see the difference that's made there. Once the blue's done, getting same treatment to the red using some gemstone, and I'm just going to do the symbol for hope in the middle there is S with some gemstone. Now that's done, taking a little bit of the plate metal and I'm going to really lightly do his hair. I don't want him to look like an old age pensioner. I just want to give his hair a little bit of shine and a bit of ping and a bit of pizzazz, and there we go, that's done.